Hi, Leslie Mosteller here. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to teaching you three things which are an excerpt from my new course, Life Lessons from Miller. So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, because you're going to want to take notes and incorporate these into your life right now. Now, what I do is I help upgrade people's attitude and their perspectives. And what I know from my entrepreneurial and corporate life experience and many, many, many years of research is that so often, like most of the time, what we think about is what we get. It can be the exact same experience as someone else is having, but depending on your perspective and your mindset, you can have completely different takeaway from that same one experience as somebody else has who has a completely turned around view of the world. So let's get right to it. I've got 3 points that I'm happy to share with you today. So again, grab that pen, grab that a piece of paper so that you can take notes. Now, the first point that I want to make with you, the first lesson is to keep your happy ears up. So what is it that I mean by this? Well, again, this is all life lessons that I've learned from my horse Miller. And what this means for people is all about body language. You have probably seen in other people how others' body language completely either invites interaction, invites opportunity because they look confident, they look relaxed, they look welcoming, they look pleasant to deal with. And on the other hand, when each of us walks around, really most of the time not even realizing it, with a sour look on your face, or you have distraction because you're thinking about something else, or perhaps you're even just thinking about something that happened half an hour ago that was annoying, but you're still wearing it in your body language. And in those cases, you may be unaware of how opportunity is just turning away from you. And people are not approaching you because you look angry or you look like you don't like them. So the idea of keeping your happy ears up, which is Miller's case, where his ears are very relaxed and very pleasant. In my case and in your case, I invite you to understand what your resting face looks like. Not to be vain, but to just be completely aware of what are you putting out there into the universe. Is your resting face a scowl or a furrowed brow? Or perhaps it's just completely one where you're not even making eye contact with people? Here's what I know. When you walk around with just a pleasant expression, people find you to be approachable. And when you're approachable, opportunity comes your way. So take a lesson here and spend a few private moments understanding what your resting face feels like. And if it's a scowl, understand what that feels like so that you can be aware as you go through your day. When you feel that feeling, when you feel that frown or you feel that furrow, you know what that feels like, and then you also will have practiced a more pleasant expression, not a phony smile, none of that weird stuff, but a pleasant expression that will invite interaction. And then be self-aware of how your face looks. And mark my words, you will find things turn around for you simply because of that outward appearance that you share with the world. And it's one of welcoming and pleasant and interested and inviting, so that things that would otherwise go around you, instead interaction comes to you. Okay, the second lesson from my life lessons from Miller is the world is interesting and people are great. So I understand that there's a lot going on in the world today. Certainly, it is not all roses and candy out there. There's a lot of serious stuff happening in the world, in your life, in your country, in your community. I get that. I'm clear. Believe me. You can either take away from that reality that the world is scary and that people are bad. And let me tell you, that would be a huge mistake. So please write this down. When you go forward and you go into your world, your reality, with the idea that the world is interesting, not scary, that people are actually great. Most of the time, most of the people want the same things that you do. Basically, how they choose to get there is going to be different. Most people want the same things that you do. People are great. And when you open yourself up to that reality, when you choose to take on that perspective, you actually become part of the solution. Instead of seeing a change as scary or threatening or some other form of negative, instead you will see that same event as, that's really interesting. Let me find out more about this. You will see that as opportunity. You will see that as new information. You will see that as simply interesting. And how you interpret what you find will be totally different depending on your perspective. When you see people as great, people as being more similar to you than they are different from you, you will listen differently. You will talk with them differently. You will even interact with people that you might not otherwise interact with if you didn't already make a decision in your mind that, in fact, people are great. This is such a critical life lesson. I invite you to play with this idea. Okay, third thing that I have to share with you as a quick overview and an excerpt from my video course, Life Lessons from Miller. And this one is really so vital. This one is, don't jump on the bandwagon. Now, what does this mean? This means that if you see somebody else has their panties in a bunch, don't necessarily jump in on that idea with them. When you see other people getting angry or other people getting negative or other people getting scared, don't jump in until you find out for yourself what's going on. So this is a complicated situation. I understand. This quick overview of introducing these concepts for you is not going to touch on all the details, but think about this. If you find out for yourself what's happening, what someone else is finding frightening is not necessarily frightening for you. When you find out what's going on, something that someone else is finding really angering is not necessarily going to make you angry. When you find out for yourself what's happening, you can make your own decisions. Do not give up your power so easily as to jump on someone else's bandwagon. Now, this certainly means that you can still be a supportive friend. You can still be a family member who is there for others. You can still be part of the larger community, but maintain your own identity all the while so that you can find out for yourself, A, what's happening, and then B, what your choice is for how you are going to respond to that. So, hey, I hope you got those 3 quick lessons And if you found this valuable, I invite you to join me for this information expanded upon and more tips, tricks, insights, changes in your perspective, and ideas on how you can upgrade your attitude and improve your view of the world and what's happening around you. I invite you to join me with my new 8-module online video course, and I call that Life Lessons from Miller. Miller is my dearly beloved horse who I compete with, and I've learned so many life lessons from him. So as I started compiling these in my own life and using them in my own world, I knew that this was information that I needed to share, because all of us can change our reality simply by changing our attitude and changing our perspective. So I look forward to you joining me there. Click the button below, get some more information. Life Lessons from Miller is an exciting 8-module online video course that you can access whenever it's convenient for you. You can access it on your phone, on your tablet, on your desktop, whenever and wherever, and it will always be there for you. This information is simple to consume, thought-provoking, and will completely change how fast you can get the results that you're looking for in your world. This always comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there really is no worry for you about whether this is right. Give it a try, come take a look, and I look forward to seeing you there and sharing with you life lessons from Miller. Talk to you soon, and in the meanwhile, live joyfully.